All right, guys, this week we are going to interview friends of mine, Vanessa, who is a teacher in St. Louis, and her two kids, Stephen and Eden, who are also in elementary school. So we're going to have a good time. Stay tuned.
Substitute Teachers Lounge.
All right, guys, I am really excited today to not only introduce you to a family from St. Louis, but one of my favorite families from St. Louis. You've heard me say before, I lived in St. Louis in the early 80s. We met a couple out there that we enjoyed hanging around with so much. We vacation with them every year to this day. And today I get to talk to their daughter and her kids. Vanessa, Stephen, and Eden, how y'all doing today?
We're doing good.
Good,
Thanks for
good.
having us.
Oh, absolutely. The reason this is going to be very unique today, it's the first time I've done it. I wanted to get a teacher and two students that weren't her students in the same call, so I could ask them some questions and we'll go from there. Now, I'll have to be honest with you. They usually like me to feature the kids first. So, that's the way it's going to go. Stephen, tell everybody what grade you're in.
I'm in fourth grade. I'm going to be in fifth grade.
Fourth grade. Now, do you all, in our current situation, do you have work you have to get done every day?
Yes.
You do? Okay. That's good. Now, I've seen some pictures of you doing your work. And I've got a question for you because of that. I want you to explain to everybody how Prodigy is like Pokemon for math.
Oh.
How is it? Now, I know what Prodigy is, and I think I really know your answer. Well, how would you describe that?
Because you literally catch monsters, and in order to do that, you have to solve math problems.
I agree. I've watched when I substitute teach, even, of course, you're getting close to middle school, but I was up at the middle school level. I watch them on Prodigy and all the other stuff too. And I'm thinking, man, there was none of that fun stuff when I was in school. Everything was just paper and pencil. What's your favorite subject in school?
Probably STEM.
Okay. What do you like about that?
We get to make stuff.
Okay. All right. I see Eden back there. How are you doing?
Good.
Remind me what grade you're in, Eden.
First grade.
First grade. What's your favorite subject?
Recess.
Believe it or not, you're not the first student that I've interviewed that's told me that. So I think that is a popular subject. Tell me what you guys are involved with as activities, either for the school or after school when you just out doing stuff. What do you like to do? If we were in normal situations, what do you normally like to do for activities?
Probably.
You do Cub Scout.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
probably Cub
good.
Scouts.
That's good. What do you like to do, Eden?
Gymnastics.
Gymnastics. I can believe that. Now, let me ask a very important question to both of you. What's your favorite movie?
A hard one.
Let me think.
Or movie character, anything about a movie. What kind of movies do you enjoy?
Pokemon movies.
Okay. All right. You know, this is funny. My sons are now 30 and they still talk about Pokemon. I mean, when they were teenagers, that was when it was first taken off in the United States, and they've still got packs of Pokemon cards from back then.
Yeah.
What about you, Eden? What's your favorite movie or your favorite movie character? You look like a princess.
Elsa.
What? Say it again.
Elsa.
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about. Good. My granddaughter, who is 6 years old, she really enjoys that movie too. That is Frozen, isn't it?
Yeah.
Have you seen all the Frozen movies?
Yeah.
All right. All right. Now, Vanessa, let me ask you something real quick. How'd you get into teaching? And don't go away, kids. I've got questions for your mom that I think you're going to have opinions about too. But how'd you get into how did you decide you wanted to be a teacher?
I always wanted to do it, like since high school. It's just something I always wanted to do. And when I went to college for it, I never changed my mind. So I just love helping kids be successful in life. And
that's just kind of what she does best. She takes care of kids best. That's her.
Wow. How long did you all rehearse that? That was a pretty good answer.
Yeah.
That was good. Stephen, I can tell, are you, well, no, I shouldn't ask you that. Both of you impressed me as pretty smart students. Surely I'm not wrong. Are you smarter than your granddaddy? What do you call him? I've forgotten. Papa?
Yeah, we call him Papa.
Okay. All right. Don't tell him I said that. I was just joking. But I can tell you guys are smart. All right, let me ask you this. At your all's age or at that school, do you all have substitute teachers very often?
Yeah.
You do? What do you remember? Don't mention names, but what do you remember about the substitute teachers you've had?
Well, my substitute teacher, she was really nice. And she actually did STEM with us also.
Good. So it wasn't somebody that just came in and sat down and just kind of acted like a babysitter. She actually worked with you guys.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Eden? Have you ever had a substitute teacher? Did you have kindergarten in that school as well? It's a different school?
Yeah.
All right. All right. So what do you remember about substitute teachers? Anything?
All right. All right. Go ahead. Speak freely.
One of their names is Miss Jackson.
Okay.
And she was for the.
Oh, and was she one of your favorites? Why?
What did you like about her?
She
Speak up. Speak up.
Because she does calendar with us. And
okay. That's good. That's good. Now, Vanessa, here's the questions for you that I bet the kids are going to have an answer for too. I usually ask the same general questions of everybody because I like to hear, different parts of the country, how things are different, and usually they're the same. But the first one is, any of you, what do you think makes kids' favorite teachers their favorites?
I would say when they're comfortable with you, that makes them their favorite teacher. Just showing them love and respect all the time and to everyone, and not playing favorites. Sometimes that's hard.
It is hard. I agree.
But I genuinely love every single one of my students, and I think that they can tell that by the way I treat them. So I feel like that is a big factor in what makes a favorite teacher.
I couldn't agree with you more. In fact, you probably, I know you know this. I was an accountant for 24 years. And when I got into substitute teaching, I was thinking, man, I wish I had gone into education because you know how I am. I like to goof around and cut up with kids all the time. And I mainly do middle school and high school, but at that age, it's the same from the standpoint of they just want some attention. You never know what their individual home situations are like. So a lot of them are just looking for attention. What do you think teachers sometimes accidentally do to make those students not feel respected? If we're not careful, what do we accidentally let slip out?
Well, I feel like sometimes when you're talking to other teachers and you're venting about a student and that student hears you, and especially at the younger ages, because a lot of times teachers think, they don't know what I'm talking about, but really they do. even little bitties, they can pick up on what you're talking about
Sure.
if you're talking about them. And I feel like that's a big thing that I've seen some teachers do, and I've been guilty of myself. And
Sure. Me too.
yeah, and joking around it's fun to joke around with them, but there's a line, you don't want to cross the line into making fun of them. So.
Yes. It's interesting. I had to teach in 6th grade history of religion, and it included Hinduism and Buddhism and Judaism. But there was one class that I bet 90% of the class were what I would call Bible-toting kids. They were quoting scripture and they wanted to talk about it. And I never know in a public school system how far. Normally I won't bring it up, but I'll talk about it if they bring it up first. So you just never know what the kids are used to or what their backgrounds are. Have you ever had to ask for a substitute teacher yourself?
Oh yeah. Yep.
What do you look for when you ask for a substitute teacher? What are you hoping to get when you ask for a substitute teacher?
Well, I hope to get someone that shows them the same love that I do, but I have an aide in my classroom, and she's like my rock in the classroom. She's amazing.
Okay.
So I try to find, I try to almost let her pick the sub, and we have certain ones that we use all the time, and we try to be consistent with that.
Sure.
Because the kids get used to certain people, and
absolutely.
and I don't want to walk into my room the next day and I can tell nothing's been done and it's a mess in there. I like to walk in and see that, it's been cleaned up and projects have been done that I had left. And so I try to find, like I said, we have about 3 certain substitutes that we try to pick from.
No, that was a great answer. I mean, you said everything that I hoped you would say, because I usually go over well with the students. And I had one teacher tell me one time, they like you. I was worried that they wouldn't get any work done. So I know exactly what you're saying. Sometimes there's a fine line of just substitutes wanting to cut up with the kids and actually make sure their work gets done as well. What kind of reward system do you have for students? What do you find they like? And the kids could answer this too if they want to. What kind of rewards work best in a classroom other than the grades?
Yeah. Well, I don't really take grades because mine are littles, but
right.
I use a clip system, a clip chart. So they start on green every day, and they can clip up for good choices and clip down for poor choices. And just the process of being able to clip up is a big deal to them at that age. That alone is a huge reward for them, but they also earn rewards by being on better colors. They earn candy, of course, but I try not to overdo it with the candy. So stickers, and I also have a prize box that they get to pick from if they have a good week all week long. On Friday, they get to pick from the treasure box, and that's always a big deal for them. So
Good. That sounds good. Stephen, how do you like to be rewarded in your class?
Well, our teacher, if she sees us being good, she just gives us candy.
Okay. All right.
That keeps me satisfied.
What about you, Eden? Do you like to be rewarded in school? How do you like to be rewarded?
When I get to clip up on pink.
Okay. All right. Let's flip it around a little bit. I'm just talking about if you have students that are a little bit noisy, or the kids can answer this too from their experience in their own classrooms, if that makes sense. If you have kids that are too noisy in class or just want a little bit too much attention, how do you correct that? I'm always looking for good ideas, by the way.
yeah, what works best in my room that I found is pointing out the kids who are doing what they're supposed to, instead of giving them the negative attention, which sometimes you can't help it. They're doing something you have to put a stop to immediately. And pulling them aside and talking to them alone, like, not in front of everybody.
Totally
and
agree.
explaining to them, ask them why they're making the choice that they're making, and try and, get down on their level as to why they might be acting that way. But I have found that if I start pointing out all the kids who are doing what they're supposed to, that like 90% of the time, the kid not acting right will straighten up immediately.
I like that. I think that's the first time I've heard somebody describe a system like that. I think that sounds great. All right, before we get out of here, Vanessa, if you were forced to give me a story from your classroom that is either funny, made you feel good, or both, would you be able to come up with one?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Let us know what it is.
So at the beginning of the year, we always do beginning of the year assessments. And I had this one little boy, and he's just smart as a whip. I mean, super, super smart. And when I did his assessment, he pretty much knew all the answers already. And so I looked at him and I said, well, what am I going to teach you now? And he said, well, how to be a good friend.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
It really spoke volumes to me, because I'm like, that's what a lot of kids are looking to adults for,
right.
is how to treat other people by, and they learn that by how you treat them. So I love that story.
I bet it caught you by surprise a little bit, didn't it?
It did. Yeah. It was very deep thoughts from a small child.
All right, kids, do you have anything else you want to share with me before we wind this thing up?
You have anything else you want to share?
Well, not really, except nothing.
Do you still communicate with your girlfriend even though you can't see her?
I don't have one.
All right, smart guy. All right, guys, it was great talking with Vanessa and Stephen and Eden today. You all have a great week, and let's hope a few months. I know we're scheduled to go on vacation with your parents in June. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but hopefully we'll get back to normal fairly soon. So you all have the best of week, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All right. Thanks so much, Greg.
See you later.
Bye.
All right, guys. Hope you enjoyed Vanessa and Stephen and Eden from St. Louis. St. Louis is one of my favorite places. I love the Cardinals. I still like the Reds, but I like to watch Cardinal baseball too. So I hope you all enjoyed that. Let me mention that one thing we're starting, especially since so many of us are in, we're doing video interviews now, and that was a video interview. So that will also be available on the Substitute Teachers Lounge YouTube page, so you can watch it in video form if you prefer to do that. In fact, what I'm picking up on here recently is that we have as many views on YouTube as we do as listens on the podcast. So if that is more your thing, or if you just want to see Vanessa and Stephen and Eden, or even, heaven forbid, what I look like, you can go to that video, and it'll be ready later this afternoon. So we're hoping you're getting along great. We hope that you're coming up with great substitute teacher ideas to share. We will share all of those as we get back into the swing of things here soon. Hope your family is staying healthy. Hope that it is going well for you. We will keep everyone in our prayers and be thinking about everyone. In the meantime, you all have a good week, and we'll see you on Substitute Teachers Lounge next week. Music provided by Ben Sound.